Hello, welcome to idealtopics.com, our YouTube tutorials, and today I want to show you how to take a squared off to the side featured image in your WordPress blog post. We're going to move it to the middle, we're going to round the edges, or we're going to size it. So hopefully we get to the content as quickly as we can. So we'll start with this. I'm on here. We have our rectangle size, square. WordPress does what it can, but I'm not very fond of that. So here's one. We're going to go to a different. This is where I know there's one with the picture of my dog on my flawless Dog Walk Essentials post. This is why I'm showing it to you. Most of mine is blog stuff I try to write, but I do want it to look as good as it can. So I hacked around and I figured this out over a couple of days, but it works. Here's the picture. Oh, there's Rose, but it's really long and it's tall, and that's fine. But you should look at this. It takes quite a long time to get there. Instead of maybe just one or two, just to really get into it. And at this point, most people are going to be like, "Oh, dog's cute," and then just maybe move on. And then it's not something we want at all. We want people reading this and saying dog walks are great, reading the BarkBox commercial thing, all that. Affiliates are great. We want them to see that. So, in order to do this, what we have to do is we go into our customize on WordPress. The first thing we need to do is we're going to find out what this image is actually called within WordPress, because then we can manipulate that to do whatever we want to, and for free, and not a plugin, so it's not really going to slow down our site. And that was the biggest one for me. I'm like, I don't want to slow down my site. Read stuff, clicked around, figured this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this guy up here with the arrow, and then we hover over things on the page. Like there's site identity, there's the whole content, site content that goes all the way down the whole site. There's a container for this section. There's the picture. All right, that is an image dot. It's an attachment, large size, large WP. I'm assuming that's WordPress post. It's a post and image. That makes a ton of sense. Good job on WordPress naming that. So now we know the name of that. We have to put it over here in additional CSS. We can close this out now. We don't name it. We're going to put over here additional CSS, and then we're going to add certain parameters that's going to manipulate this image. I have copied this because I want this video to go as quickly as it can for you, and that's exactly what this was called within the WordPress environment. Now the rest of the things we're typing, I'll do it one at a time with some copy and paste. What we're going to want to do is put this right in the middle of its section, which goes from here to here. That's what I want all my images to be. That's what I like, and I think it's more pleasing to the eye, and I want people to start off thinking, hey, this is the greatest, man, I want to read that article from top to bottom and have a good time with it. So, margin left auto, margin right auto. That's what's going to give us space equally within this section on both sides. The next thing we have to do is say display block. The image itself is a block. It's called a block because that's essentially what people that made up CSS and the internet wanted to call a section of stuff. It could be a paragraph, I believe, or heading. It's whatever a block of something is. And what we got is, oh, perfect. And we have display block. That's this guy. Now we have our margins. Margin on the left, margin on the right, right in the middle. Lines up. This is the cool part. Lines up right with the content. I think it's pleasing to the eye, and I dig it. Now I want some corners. I want some rounding on the edges right here, because I find it softer, and people are not reading our posts that are cool about like website design or walking your pets or whatever. Looking for just tight. You want them to relax and enjoy your site. So what I have is border radius. Border radius. Obviously a radius circle, 20 pixel. See the corners? See how they're rounded? That's so cool. So we're centered, we're rounded. Now the thing is, it seems like every featured image on WordPress has a mind of its own, and it's like, I'm going to be whatever size I want to be. Don't care. That's what I'm going to do to you. So it doesn't make every size picture exactly this rectangle. Some might be more vertical, but it is going to size them at 50% of what WordPress says they can be, which gives a quicker shot at reading your content. And we all know content is what we want people reading, because it is pretty much why we write things. It's super cool. Alright, so we're going to paste that. Boom, perfect. So we have height 50%, max width 50%. Max width is going across. So we reduce the height by half, and we reduce the max width by half. And actually, if you notice, it put the content up a little higher, and we have this picture now. I'm now going to publish this, so we'll see the actual picture of Rosie the pup and the dog walk one, and how it changes. And it's going to center it around the edges and make it easier to get to the content quicker. So here we go. Let's refresh, please. Let's work for everybody watching. And whoa, perfect and lovely. So the work's paid off. So now we have our rounded edges. There's Rose, a little smaller, but still getting ready for the dog walk. And I only have to go down, that's it, just a couple ticks, and I'm already reading. And then go right through the 4 dog walks. I get to my affiliate thing for BarkBox, which is great. I hope you guys, if anyone's watching, likes BarkBox. But that's the size of it. All my images are now halved, rounded edges, and right there in the middle, lined up with the content. That's exactly what we did. We just go to additional CSS in WordPress. We find out what the image is called. That's this. We set the margins on both sides, which is that. Display block, you have to say display this in order for the margins to work for this. Border radius, the corners, gives a nice rounded thing. Max width, height, we're having whatever we have. We can go lower than that, but I mean, if it's smaller than that, I think it would look not so good, because you still want people to see it, and if it's just too small, it's going to distract. So if we go back here to our website resources on Ideal Topics, we'll go down to, here's the important steps to, where is it? Right there. Perfect. Thank you, Internet. And this guy too should be a little smaller, almost look like what I want going in my post grid here through Elementor, and boom, it's right there, centered, good, perfect. Just wanted to verify that, and it's all good. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, send them my way, because I really like looking up internet questions, or questions on how to make stuff look different, or essentially on anything. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope you all have the greatest of luck in everything you do online. Thank you. This is IdealTopics.com. Goodbye.